It's now time to see what's happening in these digital streets. Joining me to talk about everything tonight is Meadowlark Media and Sirius XM host Amin Elhassan. My brother, good to see you. Let's talk about what's going on in these digital streets because they are buzzing right now with the WNBA. The Chicago Sky celebrated their first franchise championship today in Chicago. They had a parade and a victory rally. It was packed. Chicago native Chance the Rapper was there. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was there, and more made speeches there about the victory. This is the city's first pro championship since 2016, and the Sky defeated the Phoenix Mercury on Sunday in Game 4. I saw the game. I thought it was kind of beautiful, man, to watch Candace Parker get her props. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing to remember is that 2 years ago in the finals or in the playoffs, she got benched, right? She got benched when she was playing for the LA Sparks. And that was kind of one of those moments where people said, oh, is this the end or the beginning of the end of a very storied career? And here she is 2 years later. She goes back home to Chicago and she brings a championship, the first for that franchise in their history, and brings it back kind of as a triumphant hero, hitting the big shot at the end. So it was a nice kind of redemption story for someone who we thought maybe had reached the end of her rope.
Absolutely, and I think it makes Derek Fisher look a little crazy, you know, having benched her. You know, it's kind of that last thumb in the eye, man. It's a real beautiful thing, man, for sports. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Derek Fisher, but it's always good to watch the player get the last word. Let's talk about something else, because as the WNBA closes its exciting playoffs, the NBA is getting started with opening night. Tonight, we got the defending champions, the Milwaukee Bucks, who are going to face the Brooklyn Nets. And the game's going on as we speak. It's a very competitive game. And while the veteran Los Angeles Lakers are coming on tonight, they ain't got an easy matchup either. They're going to take on the Golden State Warriors. And the streets are placing their bets on the games. And even though it's early, some people are talking about which teams are going to go all the way this year. I need your expert opinion. When you look at the forecast right now, Brooklyn, it seems to be the odds favorite, but people are putting their money on the Lakers. That to me sounds like we think Brooklyn's better, but we think they're going to fall apart.
Right. I think, well, both of those teams are facing some unique kind of obstacles, right? If you're talking about Brooklyn, we know the unavailability of Kyrie Irving is a huge deal. I mean, it takes them from a kind of historic collection of talent to a really, really good team, which, again, I think they're good enough to win without Kyrie, but I think we can all agree that they're not as good as they would be with Kyrie. When you look over at LA, you're talking about a team that has a lot of age and a lot of injury issues. We've already started the year, and Trevor Ariza and Taylor Horton-Tucker are out with injuries. So there is a level of, hey, the Lakers are really good if they can stay healthy. And that is a pretty big if, especially when you consider Anthony Davis's history with injuries, and that LeBron in 2 of the last 3 years has had serious injuries when he went through an entire career of not having any. So, Mark, when people say who's going to win the championship, it sounds like a corny answer, but I'm going to say it's a team that can stay healthy and bring their roster there. And one of those teams that is playing tonight that we might think is going to be there at the end is Milwaukee. And that's kind of what they did last year. They managed to survive without getting hurt, and that ended up helping them in their quest for a championship.
I agreed. I mean, if I had to put my money on a team right now, I'd put it on the Brooklyn Nets, assuming all things being the same. But all things aren't the same, as you said. Kyrie probably isn't going to play. Harden disappears in the playoffs, and he's had some hamstring issues, you know, and the Lakers are very old, like you said. So there's some real reason to believe that Milwaukee might be the safe bet once again. Now, the team that I wanted to be the safe bet was my Philadelphia 76ers, but some things done happen. Ben Simmons showed up to practice today. First of all, we've had a summer of Ben Simmons not talking, not responding to the Sixers. He said, if y'all want to talk to me, come out and visit. And then when it's time for the players to come out and visit, he said, don't get on the plane. Then he finally makes it to practice today or yesterday. And today, he gets kicked out of practice by Doc Rivers. Yeah. Apparently, he was asked to participate in some defensive drills. He didn't want to do it. He got asked a couple times. Doc said, then go home. And Ben literally took his ball and went home. He was suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. And as a result, Ben Simmons will not play in the 76ers season opening game on Wednesday in New Orleans. I mean, oh, man. There's so much stuff happening here, man. What do you make of the Ben Simmons story?
Well, first of all, I feel for you. If you guys don't know, Mark goes to a lot of Sixer games. He's a proud son of Philadelphia. He sits right there, baseline, and the anguish on your face right now. I've seen that look before in pictures and in video from games. But Mark, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think the Sixers are kind of mishandling the situation. I get what they're trying to do. I think a lot of what's happened the last 2 days has been an orchestrated kind of attempt to make Ben Simmons look worse off than he already does. For instance, he had a medical device in his pocket the other day, but everyone went wild that he had a cell phone in his pocket. And the Sixers didn't really take pains to correct anybody on that. If he was going to look bad, they're going to let him look bad. Same thing with today. I think Doc might have kind of put him in a position where he can then kick him out of practice and make a big to-do. Look, I'm going to say this. I've worked in media for almost a decade, and before that I worked in NBA teams for almost a decade. And guys get kicked out of practice all the time, but I don't remember it ever being news. The only way it's news is if you tell somebody.
That's fair.
Because you want to make a big stink about it.
That's fair, but normally when guys get kicked out of practice because they had a bad day, or maybe a bad week, or maybe a bad interaction. Just like guys getting fights in the locker room, we don't hear about it. But it's not usually after somebody, has a bad playoffs, a bad summer, a spat, disappear. I mean, this is like, he done set light-skinned people back like 10 years. Anyway, I got to run. We're going to talk later, brother.